And now breakfast is over and it's time for part 2. Never done this before. It's unprecedented. When's the last time you heard that word? Well, this is part 2 of the men's breakfast. The first one dealt with coming to Jesus. This one deals with living for Jesus. And those of you who have accepted Christ, and hopefully those of you who maybe made a decision based on the last video, must realize that that onion is still there. There's still more layers even after you make that decision. You cut deeper and deeper in your Bible study and in your living. There's always something new, and there's always the opportunity to saute that onion and make it sweeter and richer and more appetizing. As life throws you things, the old saying is, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Well, when life gives you dilemmas, you make lemonade. It's an opportunity for us to grow. And that's what we need to talk about now. For those of us who have accepted Christ, there is the tendency to deny the things that Jesus tells us to do. There is a tendency for us to delay doing the things Jesus tells us to do. But we must, again, in that 3D example, make a decision to follow Jesus, to do the things he says, to live the kind of life he wants us to live, to share the gospel with other people. Some of the most important words that Jesus said can be summed up in 2 words. Follow me. Follow me. Do the things he tells us to do. Live for him. In the Gospel of John, Peter was talking, and I like Peter. He's a great character. He's a great personality. And there's so many things to be learned from Peter because of his humanity. So many of us can identify with him. But Peter was talking to Jesus, and he was, it's right at the very end of the Gospel, and Peter was looking around at other disciples. He said, well, what about him? And Jesus looked at Peter and he said, what is that to you? You must follow me. So many times we look at everything else and we say, well, yeah, but what about that? And what about him? And what about her? And what about the things they're doing? What is that to you? You must follow me, Jesus says. So as we go on, learning from our example of the 3Ds, learning from our example of the onion, it's time to grow once we make that decision. And so my wish for you in this second part of our men's breakfast is it's an opportunity for us to grow every day. Every day we've got decisions to make. We've got to decide what shoes to put on. We've got to decide, what kind of clothes we're going to wear. We've got to decide things at work. We've got to decide things at school. We've got to make a grocery list. But there are other decisions to make, important, eternal decisions. And we need to think about, what does Jesus want us to do as we follow him? So it's time for us to expand our vision, to dig deeper in the onion, look at more layers, get down into the deeper degrees of discipleship and learning how to follow Jesus. Sure, we have to make that initial decision. But after that, after we've decided that we're going to be Christians, that we believe in Jesus and we're going to follow him, well, now comes the opportunities to make those day-to-day decisions, those minute-by-minute decisions on how we put, as J. Vernon McGee used to say, the rubber to the road, how we put feet on our discipleship. And so in the second part of our men's breakfast, this is an opportunity for us to look at how we can grow as Christians. And the reason it's in 2 parts, I'll be honest, is because the first part could possibly be used as an evangelistic tool by you, by sharing it with people who are really serious seekers of the truth, who really want to know, or maybe deniers of the faith, or people who are just putting things off. So maybe that can be used to share with people. And maybe this can be used to help people to grow once that decision has been made. But also for each of us, every Christian, no matter who they are, no matter how mature they are, is dealing with day-to-day, minute-by-minute decisions on how to follow him. So let's all pray that we follow Jesus as closely as we can. And I know that if we do that, we'll see fruits in our lives come about. And that onion won't be harsh and make our eyes water and give us onion breath. That onion will be sweeter the deeper we dig and the more we saute it. It's what we do with those opportunities that makes the difference in our lives. So commit to following Jesus today. And I wish you a very, very good Saturday. God bless you.